Good morning to all of you. I am Dr. Arpana Agrawal, an assistant professor at Department of Physics, Shri Neelkanteshwar Government Postgraduate College, Khandwa, India. I am here to give you a brief summary of all the different type of lasers, and I will compare all the lasers in terms of various characteristics, including their active centers, their resonator schemes, their pumping schemes, output power, mode of the output, and many more. So here we go. This table shows a summary of all the laser systems, and this column shows the characteristics where we talk about the type of laser, active medium, active center, pumping method, pumping source, optical resonator, nature of the output, and wavelength emitted by the laser. Here I am comparing the solid state lasers, which are ruby laser and diag laser, gas lasers, which are helium neon laser and CO2 laser, liquid laser, which is a dye laser, and the semiconductor laser. So if we talk about the type, then ruby laser and Nd:YAG laser are the solid state laser systems, where ruby laser is a 3-level laser system while Nd:YAG laser is a 4-level laser system. Helium neon and CO2 are gas laser systems, where helium neon is an atomic is based on atomic laser transition and is a 4-level laser system, while CO2 is again a 4-level laser system but is a molecular gas laser system. Dye lasers are liquid laser systems and is also a 4-level laser system, while semiconductor laser are solid state semiconductor lasers. If we talk about the active medium, then in ruby lasers, ruby rod, which is nothing but chromium doped sapphire Al2O3, is used as the active medium, while in case of Nd:YAG, some of the yttrium ions are replaced by neodymium ions to make an Nd:YAG rod, which serves as an active medium in Nd:YAG laser. Then we have helium neon laser, where a gas envelope of helium and neon gas is used as an active medium. In CO2 laser, we have a gas envelope of 3 gases, namely the carbon dioxide gas, the nitrogen gas, and the helium gas, where CO2 and nitrogen are in equal proportion and the rest are helium gas. In dye laser, we have organic dyes which are soluble in some suitable solvents and they act as an active medium. While in case of semiconductor lasers, we have PN junction diode, mainly formed of gallium arsenide, and this acts as an active medium. If we talk about the active center, then the chromium ions, Cr3 plus ions, are the active centers in ruby laser, while the Nd:YAG Nd3 plus ion acts as an active center in Nd:YAG laser. Neon gas are acting as an active center in helium neon gas, while the vibrational levels of CO2, that is, since CO2 is a diatomic molecule, so the vibrational levels like bending, asymmetric stretching, and symmetric stretching are the active centers. In dye lasers, we have organic dyes as the active centers, while the depletion region acts as the active center in semiconductor lasers. In general, for semiconductor lasers, we use optical pumping scheme. For gas lasers, we use electrical discharge as the pumping method, while optical pumping can also be used in dye lasers. And for semiconductor lasers, we apply a forward biasing to excite the electrons. And the pumping source, if we talk about the optical pumping, then generally helical flash lamp in which the in which the ruby rod is inserted is used as a optical pumping source in ruby lasers, while we have the same flash lamp for Nd:YAG lasers. A high voltage DC power supply is used as a pumping source in case of helium neon laser and CO2 lasers. In dye lasers, we have again optical pumping, which is generally done by different laser sources. And in semiconductor lasers, we use external battery. The optical resonator is made up of 2 mirrors. In ruby laser, the ends of the ruby rod are kept in between 2 optically coated mirrors, which are silvered differently. Same is the case with Nd:YAG laser. In helium neon laser, we have mirrors polished differently. In CO2, again the same thing. In dye laser, since they are tunable lasers, so we have mirror and the diffraction gratings. In case of semiconductor lasers, two cleaved surfaces are acting as the optical resonator, and the other two surfaces are make in such fabricated in such a way that they are a little bit roughened, so they do not allow the to and fro motion. And the nature of output is, in case of ruby laser we have pulsed output, in case of NdArc generally pulsed, in case of CO2 and helium neon laser we have continuous output, in case of dye laser we have pulsed output, in case of semiconductor laser we have both pulsed or continuous, and the wavelength emitted are 693.4 nanometer, which is in visible region for ruby laser. Then we have 1.064 micron, which is falls in the IR region for NdArc laser. Then we have 632.8 nanometer, again visible region, red light. In case of helium neon laser, then we have CO2 laser, where we get in the wavelength emitted in the far IR region, and having a wavelength of 10.6 micron. Then in case of dye lasers, these are very tunable, and in semiconductor lasers we can have 8300 angstrom to 8500 angstroms, which again falls in IR region. So in spite of many flaws, each and every laser has its own property and hence can be employed for its own specific application. Thank you all.